Hey YouTube, hippie chick here. Lots of miracles have happened since my last lymphedema video, and I got so much I want to talk about that I'm probably going to have to do a 2 or 3 part video, but I was able to raise the money to go to Korea and have Dr. Shim perform my operation, and that was a miracle. My brother is the drummer for Lone Star, and he and his band were able to do a concert for me to raise money so that I could go to Korea, and that happened, and that was a miracle. That night was like, oh my God, I felt the love from Lone Star and my brother, and that night was a miracle. I just felt like it was just all about me, you know. And another miracle is all my new friends, my new lymphedema friends, and how much support I got through the entire journey, and just to meet the people and to hear their stories. Like, my heart breaks to hear about, like, babies. You know, women contacted me with, like, babies who were born with lymphedema in both legs, and oh, my heart just goes out to everyone who is afflicted with lymphedema. And I gotta say thank you to everyone with lymphedema who was there with me on Facebook in spirit through the whole surgery, through the pain. I'm so humbled. I'm gonna cry. Anyway, yeah. Let me think. So after the Lone Star concert, my best friend who was there at the Lone Star concert with me, she bought my airline ticket. Sorry, I have chickens. She bought my airline ticket round trip, and she also came with me. And she was by my side the whole entire 3 weeks that we were there, and I'm so thankful to her. And she had to put up with a lot of crap from me, my whiny ass. But so a big thank you to my friend Connie for being there. My husband, yesterday we were talking about making this video. He said that having lymphedema is like a boat anchor. Like, it just anchors you down to where you don't want to leave the house, and you don't want to go anywhere, and you know, you can't walk, or you're in too much pain to, you know, to clean house or whatever. It's like a boat anchor, and that just rang true with me. What amazes me about this journey was all the little things, all the little stepping stones that took place to become miracles. It was just, when I look back, I see God working. Okay, not this way, this way. Oh yeah, okay. And so I see all the stepping stones that led to the miracle. Like, we're going to Korea. you know, and then stepping stones to get there. Oh, we got to get a passport. We're going to Korea, you know. We're on the plane to Korea, you know. And then, like, we're in the hospital. I'm fixing to have surgery to be healed, you know. That was a miracle. Meeting Dr. Shim was just a huge miracle in my life. When we first met, he said that he becomes lifelong friends with every one of his patients. And I'm like, no, no, doctors aren't that way. But he is. He is going to be a lifelong friend of mine. He treated us like royalty when we got there. He took us out to eat. He had like vans, drivers take us to concerts and to shopping, and he took us to the Royal Palace and the museum there. I don't know how he fit surgery in there with all our plans and stuff, but it was amazing. And we went to his church, and that was amazing. A lot of things happened, but anyway, we brought a 71-year-old man with us who has lymphedema in one leg, and but he's only had it for 2 years. So there's my case, which I'm going to tell you about, and I mean, which you probably seen my leg, and then his case, which was very minor, so that you'll know what to expect if your lymphedema is mild, then you'll want to listen to Bill's experience, and if it's bad like mine, I don't think, well, he did more surgery on my leg than Bill's leg, because my leg was so bad, and I had dead, like, necrosis that he had to cut away. So my case took 3 weeks to feel like I could get on the plane again. But Bill was ready to go home after 2 weeks. So we all 3 of us got on the plane and went to Korea. And it was a long flight. It's a long flight. I had to keep getting up and stretch my back and stretch out my leg, and I wanted to sleep so bad that I tried to sleep on the floor. It was more comfortable to stretch out on the floor than it was to sit on the plane. But we got there, we made it through, and Dr. Shim had a driver pick us up. We exchanged some money. I think we each got about $200 of Korean money at the airport. And then Dr. Shim had a driver pick us up, and the whole time we were there, we were escorted everywhere, and Dr. Shim showed us a lot of Korean tradition and Korean history. He taught us a lot about Korea, and it was very nice to learn. It was good to learn. Let's see. Oh yeah, and Dr. Shim and his high school alumni put on a concert for us, and so there was his men's choir, and there was a traditional harp player, a Korean harp player, and a flute player. I can't remember. There was some karaoke, and then he made us get up and sing Let It Be. And so everybody sang with us. But at that concert, at his concert, he presented us with some, like, a Korean, it was a flag and a coin and his book that he wrote, Stairway to Lymphedema Free Life. And I gave him my cane at that ceremony, and everybody just went, oh, you know, when I did that. And Dr. Shim told me that he's going to frame that cane in his hospital. So that was a miracle moment. Anyway, right outside his hospital, it's a little tiny hospital, maybe 10 or 15 rooms. And then, but anyway, right outside his hospital is a whole district, shopping district, and it's all little booths, and there's a grocery store right there on the next little block, and tents set up. You know, it's he says it's a traditional Korean marketplace, and like there's a guy who drives by with a loudspeaker and with a truck full of mushrooms or a truck full of onions, or you know, and he'll just be driving through that marketplace. But the marketplace is called Gangnam, and that was so colorful. I just had to take so many pictures because it was just so different and colorful, and I don't know, it was just a whole different culture, and I just took it all in as much as I could. Most of the time I was in the hospital bed, but before and after the surgery, we got to go places and just had such a good time. Anyway, oh yeah, and he had a driver take us to a stem cell research lab in Seoul, Korea, and that was amazing. I videoed the whole thing, but his accent was hard to understand, but I did video the slideshow that he presented to us, and that was some was in English. That was amazing. One amazing thing that we learned from there was when a woman has a baby, that baby's stem cells stay in her body for the rest of her life. So like if you have 12 babies, their stem cells are still in your body. That's just amazing. Okay, so Dr. Shim said that he could get my leg, he could do an 80% reduction on my leg. So the surgery was, first he takes stem cells he took it from my love handles, and then he puts them in a stem cell separator, and that takes about 90 minutes to get the stem cells. Okay, and then while that's processing, he did lymphosuction, which is saline assisted liposuction. It kind of flushes the gunk out of my leg. Okay, and he injects that into the lymph fluid. Then he just does liposuction and sucks out all the sludge. And he invented his own liposuction tip wand. It's called a cannula. He invented his own, and he uses that. It's able to suck out more sludge, like more holes or something. Okay, so then through all the liposuction holes, he grafts stem cells into the holes, and he puts drainage tubes into the holes. And then, like, yeah, I think I had like 11 drainage holes, like on the top of my foot, and then on both sides of the bottom of my leg, and then under my knee on both sides, and then right above that, a few inches above that, above my knee on both sides, and then one in my groin, one in my hip, and one below my butt. So that I counted about 11, which the scars now are small. They anyway. So then, for days, like maybe a week or maybe closer to like a week and a half, he just let the drainage tubes do the rest. And Mr. Kim was the nurse who, he assisted him through the whole surgery, and then I think he's like the head nurse there, and he would come in every day and check the stitches and unwrap my leg, and then him and Dr. Shim would come in and, discuss my leg, which I wish I would have known what they were saying, because sometimes they would go, and I'm like, what? But Mr. Kim wrapped my leg, and in the beginning he had to put stacks of folded up, they looked like white shop cloths, the red kind, but they seemed like they were made out of cotton. But he would stack those on every hole, drainage hole, and then bandage around that. And he right at first, I think the first day and all night, they had to wrap my leg. I think within 24 hours they had to wrap my leg 5 times, because all the I kept waking up in the wet sheets. So much. Okay, he got 15.4 liters of fluid out of my leg through the surgery, through the liposuction and lymphosuction. And I think that added up to 15 pounds, and it added up to 5 gallons of fluid that he got from my leg, and no telling how much fluid came from the drainage process. I could probably say I've lost about 30 pounds, probably. I don't have a scale, I don't weigh myself, but I could probably say that I've lost about 30 pounds of fluid alone. The drainage process, and I forgot to mention, he makes you drink a turmeric drink every night before you go to bed. And it tastes awful. It tastes like you're drinking sandalwood or something. And they mix it with milk, which I don't like milk. Or yogurt. I don't remember what was in it, but I couldn't just chug it. I had to just like take a sip of it and then drink some water and take a sip and drink some water. It was, anyway, the chef sent us each home with a big old bag of turmeric, and we're like, oh, thank you, you know. But there are so many health benefits to turmeric that I suffer through it every night, almost every night. Sometimes I miss. But the turmeric has, I mean, when my leg was draining, the fluid was the color of turmeric, if that tells you anything. So I think there's something about lymphatic sludge and turmeric that's, you should have a teaspoon of turmeric every day. Somehow, some way, chug it down and have some turmeric. Like I said, my surgery was more severe than probably yours will be, because he had to cut away some dead skin around the cuff of skin above my foot. So for a while it kind of looked like Frankenstein there, and it felt awful. Every time I got up, the blood, to go to the restroom, the blood would rush down to those stitches, and that was awful. The liposuction holes and drainage holes, they weren't so bad. So I think your surgery will probably be a lot easier than mine. My case was so severe. And like I said, Bill didn't have the kind of surgery I had. He just had the liposuction and stem cell, and he was ready to go in 2 weeks. So if that tells you anything. Let's see. Oh yeah, and Dr. Shim, to keep us from whining so bad about the pain, we constantly either had music, or he had newspaper reporters, or he brought a lot of his lymphedema patients who are getting well, and just like, there was one lady that they're coming for their monthly injections, and he sent me home with the formula for that that I have to get compounded at my pharmacy. But